All right, I am super thrilled to have Maria with me. This woman is, before I even go into it, because I know we'll start going off into La La Land, my other twin over here. My name is Tanya Patxot. Tanika, Maria, did you hear that?
Yes.
We were
I
talking
love that name so much.
we were
Really.
talking about not hiding the middle name, so I said, oh, she convicted me. All right. So Tanya Patxot, I run the Igniting Clarity show for the Genesis Network, a platform to equip, encourage, and unite other entrepreneurs. And I love bringing amazing individuals on that are ready to talk about the realness and the rawness of running a business, authoring books, just being in the marketplace as a whole. And there's so much confusion, and I'm going to be bold enough to say trash out there, where, I really felt led to just start bringing the behind the scenes, open the veil. So Maria Kathlyn Tan, right? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So I want to bring you on board and talk about your beauty and your greatness. And you have just blessed me. I remember just us being on the call the first time, and I'm like in tears because our hearts are so in sync, and I'm excited to see what God's going to do in this conversation. Introduce yourself however you want to introduce. I like to just be free, but I want to jump into some of the things that you talked about, the bullying, the defying the odds, the suicide, how your intelligence failed you. Oh, that was such a sexy word. Let your intelligence fail you, So go ahead.
Well, everyone, thank you so much to Tanya Tanika for having me here. I am very, very honored and humbled to be sharing space and energy with everybody watching, whether it's live, a replay, later on, a year later, 2 years later. But I am Maria Kathlyn. I go with Maria more, but I am the business coach for Misfits, and I specialize in helping misfits because I've always been a misfit myself. And the problem with a lot of people is that the word misfit triggers a lot of people, because even if there is that part of us that wants to be different, that wants to be special, that wants to be ourselves, a very, very big wiring in our body, in our system, within our subconscious tells us that we need to belong, that we need to work to be loved, to be rich, to be whatever, right? Like,
Come on.
That's why when your logic side, your intelligence, right, tells you that you have to be a certain way to be successful, to be rich, to be loved, to be worthy, to be heard, to be recognized, to be valued. And suddenly there is that big part of you that just wants to make a difference and wants to be a different, then of course your intelligence will fail you. And that is happening right now. There are so many people on suicidal watch, even. There's a lot of people taking antidepressants because that part of us, okay, that part of us is already wanting to be unleashed. We are no longer living the lives of our parents where conformity was the norm. Today, we are so multi-passionate. We are so multi-talented. We are taught by society to think big. And
Yes.
yet, society also tried to limit us, right? This is the reason why a lot of entrepreneurs get burnt out, because instead of really allowing themselves to think big and do bigger, they stop at thinking big. No more doing, because they are afraid. There is that fear that what would people say if I say I want to do this kind of business? What would people say if I do or I produce or create this new offer, what would people say if this is what I want to charge people for? So there is a lot of fear in entrepreneurship right now. And there is that
Yes.
pressure to be an entrepreneur because everybody's being an entrepreneur now. I think every 9 out of 10 entrepreneurs you meet are CEOs, right? Because it's so easy to open a
Yes.
company now. So there's a lot of pressure to be an entrepreneur today. There's a lot of pressure to be a CEO. And because of that pressure, a lot of people go into business, get sold into that romanticization of business, and end up burnt out, depressed,
No,
drained,
I'm
depleted.
gonna say this because you're hitting a lot of points, and I want to address them. You were talking about, yes, they're afraid to think big, or they have the fear or not. What I realized in all the years operating in business and just going through so much is a lot of that fear started to come from, I realized, me knowing that in order to reach a different level of success or place in business and life, I had to look in the mirror. I actually had to face those things in myself. And I know that you talked about, like defying the odds of like your parents and your culture, and being bullied, and we talked about suicide and all these things. And at one point in your life, you got so successful and you were there, but you were still so unsatisfied, where you talked about how your intelligence failed you, and um, and there was that fear of being disinherited for being different, and all those things. And so I think that we go into entrepreneurship, business, authoring, whatever, because you could do part-time. You don't have to be an entrepreneur or business, or however, they're all different. Um but we don't we get burnt out a lot because we actually don't face us. We don't
Yes,
face our
we
wants.
want
We
to
don't,
fit in.
yeah, we want to fit in. We don't have our inner healing. We don't stand out. And then we realize at one point, we're like, oh crap, in order to actually do this, it's going to strip me. So we talked about how entrepreneurship and business is easy,
Yes,
but and we complicate it, but what's difficult is what it actually does in you.
yes.
So let's talk about that. Like, what does it actually do in you? Because you were successful making your 5, 6, 7 figures, doing your thing, and still was like, eh.
Because entrepreneurship allows a person to look ahead. The problem with success or the problem with ticking off boxes, you don't really look ahead. You're looking for climbing a mountain, for example, meaning, okay, this is the path people told me. Here's a checklist. Okay, this is the checklist to be successful. This is what the society told us, right? But after you climb the mountain, what then?
And your checklist is different from mine, because God might have
Exactly.
me do something different first, but yet we're always going for the next quick fix. This is
Exactly.
the
Next
next
quick fix.
program. This is the
Yes.
next sales marketing thing.
And the
This is the
next
next.
mountain to climb, right? And if people just look at entrepreneurship as really a way for them to create a new world, to create a change in the world, to make a difference in this world, to create an ecosystem in this world, imagine the sustainable, authentic expression you can be. Because you are allowing people, you're inviting people to share in your world, to share in what really holds, what you're passionate about, right?
Yeah.
And I think this is something that people miss out on. They're so focused on the next sale, the next product, the next marketing, the next everything, and really forgetting what is the world they're creating? What change are they creating? What is their mission there?
Wow, you just said something so profound. What are you creating? Like, what world are you
Yes,
creating? When you think about that, you can look back and say, what am I really creating? And are you really happy with that world that you're creating?
Exactly.
I mean, that's huge. So what was your trigger? What was that point, even at that place of success? Because most people think, well, if I'm successful, if I have money, if I have this, if I have that. But I still see, like what you said, depression and suicide, all these rates going higher and higher, even amongst the people who are successful.
Successful. At that time, I just felt, okay, so what? That was just the question. So what? Okay, I have money, I have clients. Okay, if I die tomorrow, how much impact did I really give? What change did I really give? Is it just, I don't know, how to teach them to make money? How to sell more? That's it? That's what I want to leave as a legacy for myself. That's the world that I want to create, how to make more money. That's it. How to sell more. That I kept asking myself, okay, is that what life is about? And then after that trigger, I just really, really asked myself, what is it that people come to me for that I don't even need to find to give? And the answer has always been breakthrough, has always been miracles. I'm very good at finding possibilities for people because I am so different, because I'm a misfit. So the way I look at things is extremely, extremely different. And because of that, I just realized I want to create a world. And I am creating a world where misfits can truly allow themselves to get paid to be themselves, to monetize their authentic expression, to not feel that pressure to belong,
Yeah.
to not feel bad for not having people support them, to be okay in their difference. Because it's so easy to know what makes you different. But to own that difference is it's a totally different conversation. It's extremely hard for people to
I love
accept
that.
that they are different, to
I
own
like the
that, to
owning.
say,
Owning. Yeah.
yes, to say, this is me. For me right now, there is no anger in my life, to be honest. I'm extremely happy. I'm extremely blessed. I've, I don't have any vindictive thoughts, malicious thoughts to all the people that hurt me. I
Yeah.
really, really, really wish them well.
And you have
Because,
to get there.
yes,
Because
because
it
for
affects
me,
your clients, it affects your students, it affects what it is that you bring your forth your message. And that's why your home and those things need to be in order before you think that you can actually make that complete difference that you're thinking in your head, because you're passing these things on when you're in this, you're ministering, you're talking, you're coaching human beings.
yes,
And I like what you said. We had talked before, and you said you being you is your gift to the world.
yes,
That's
because you
ownership.
being you is showing people that there is a different way. There is a different thinking. There's a different being.
Yeah.
When you allow yourself, when you give yourself permission to just be yourself all the time, imagine there is no hate, there's no violence in this world. Because when you allow yourself to be you, you can also allow your other people to be them. You will not feel the need to fight or argue or defend or justify your existence. I think we live our lives justifying our presence and existence, right? We justify it through apologizing for
Oh
our
my gosh, can
existence.
you say that again? Like some of these nuggets, we need to like meme them out. Girl, I mean, you justify your presence? Like,
Many
wow.
people we live our lives justifying our presence. We do that by apologizing for our existence, apologizing for our difference of ideas,
Wow.
apologizing for our thoughts. We do that by trying to prove ourselves, right? Say, hey, look, I'm important, so I will do more things for you. I will over compromise. I will overcompensate. I will do, I don't know, I'm going to bend backwards for you, because if I don't bend backwards, then I'm not worthy of existing.
Oh
That's
my
how
gosh.
people justify.
You know what's so funny? I had been talking about this. I remember hearing certain things like manipulation about myself. And I'm like, how do I do that? And I remember like hearing and talking and just asking individuals around me so I could change and be better. And it was so interesting because what I realized was that I would say something and I was learning to speak my words. I was learning to be careful. I was trying to just pick words and I was doing it though in my own strength, not in my strength with God, but I was doing it in my natural flesh, trying to change, which is not recommended because it does not work and it doesn't last. But what I realized was somebody would say something and I realized, oh crap, I said it wrong.
Yes.
They're gonna be mad at me. Oh my God.
Yes.
Now I'm trying to validate my worth in their presence, the
You're
presence,
justifying.
and now I'm
See?
justifying. So I
Yeah.
switched my words and I was like,
Yes.
well, what, I mean, this is what because my intention was one thing, but when I said it, I could have been angry or I could have been whatever. You know what I mean? And it started to look like something that I didn't mean for it to look like. And I realized exactly what you're saying. It was me trying to justify my worth or
Yes, that
validate
I'm
my presence.
intelligent. Exactly. Or hey, look at me, I'm worthy to sit next to you. So,
Yeah.
okay, let me speak in a way that you speak.
Yes. Yes. Because it's like how I speak is not good enough, or
Yes.
it's not clear, or I'm not good at communicating, or I'm not. I'm getting that person mad, or you know, and you start just getting so like frazzled, and you start like.
Yes, and then you now speak so fast. You
Yes.
now,
And then you
you're
look like
now,
a flake. You look like a
yes.
flake. You look like somebody who is just like, wait, you're not
What?
meaning what you say what you mean. And it was so interesting. So I want to talk about that more. We're going to go into part 2, everybody, with Maria. Like I said, I'm hoping this blesses you, because these things matter when you are going into the marketplace, when you are operating in life as a whole. These things matter. How you go through inner healing, how you look at yourself, how you, like we said, justify the presence. And I want to make sure that you are able to fully receive that. So listen to this over and over and really take responsibility and ownership for actions. And if you're not there, it's okay. You know, just start getting to that point. So we'll be back. You can find all of Maria's information to connect with her, and the network, all around this all around this post. Really quickly, just give us your website address.
Maria-tan.com.
Very good, very good. So we will be back.